Imagine a world where leaders wield their power not with truth, but by twisting reality to control. Allah presents a profound example in the Quran, comparing misguided religious figures to a shepherd calling out to sheep. The sheep, unable to think or understand, follow mindlessly, just as people do when leaders keep them in ignorance to maintain power. They respond, not out of comprehension, but from habit, fear, and conformity. History is full of religious and political figures who had knowledge for their gain, making people dependent on them. Like sheep seeing their shepherd as provider, protector, and guide, people place blind trust in leaders who may be manipulating them. Why? Because questioning the status quo means standing out, and that terrifies most. But Islam isn't about following mindlessly. It's about using the intellect Allah gifted us. The Quran constantly urges, think, understand, yet even today, many Muslims hesitate to explore beyond recitation, believing deep understanding is reserved for scholars alone. This mindset mirrors the very religions that Islam came to challenge. In a world flooded with trends, influencers, and consumerism disguised as fulfillment, it's easier than ever to follow the herd. But true belief means breaking free from that cycle, daring to question, and finding Allah's guidance in both revelation and reflection. Consider the mindless devotion people have today, not just to religious figures, but to celebrities, influencers, and brands. It's a modern form of worship. Social media has become the new temple, where people follow trends and influencers as if they were the leaders of an old religious order. But what happens on Judgment Day? The influencers, once surrounded by adoring fans, will disown their followers saying, "I have nothing to do with them." And the followers? They'll realize too late that they were just part of a mindless crowd, driven by emotion rather than thought. This herd mentality extends beyond social media. It's ingrained in how we define success. Ads, brands, and society teach us that owning certain things, luxury cars, designer clothes, makes us valuable. We buy not for utility, but for status. We crave recognition, to be part of an elite group, even if it means sacrificing our true purpose. But Allah reminds us that these pursuits are hollow. The real measure is what's halal, good, and pure, not what boosts our ego or elevates us in the eyes of others. When Allah tells us to avoid the footsteps of Shaitan, it's because Shaitan's trap is subtle. He wants us to forget the spiritual part of ourselves. He wants us to reduce our worth to what can be seen and touched, making us no different from sheep, guided not by thought, but by impulse. We must ask, are we living as thoughtful beings, or have we become sheep, responding only to the loudest call? Our bodies might be similar to animals, but what sets us apart is the ruh, the soul that Allah breathed into us, giving us the ability to think deeply, question, and seek truth. Yet many leaders, both religious and secular, want us to forget that. They want followers who don't think, who respond only to empty calls and flashy displays. Why? Because it's easier to control a crowd that doesn't question. But Islam pushes us to be different. The Quran is filled with reminders to think, to reflect on the signs around us, the night and day, the winds, the rain. These signs weren't just meant for awe. They were meant to awaken the mind and the soul. When we stop thinking, we start following blindly. We become the very sheep that Allah warned us against, herded by leaders who may not have our best interests at heart. Today, consumerism has replaced the old temples. Brands tell us, you need this to be happy, and we listen without question. We become attached to status, comparison, and the approval of others, all while ignoring the deeper call of our faith. But Allah's message is clear. Don't follow the herd. Be the one who questions, who understands, who chooses the path of truth, even if it means standing alone. On Judgment Day, the illusion shatters. Leaders, once revered, will disown their followers and connections will break. Those who mindlessly followed will cry out, wishing they could go back and cut ties with the ones they idolized. But the regret will be too late. This isn't just a warning about ancient religious leaders. It's a message for our times. The influencers, the celebrities, The figures we elevate will not stand by us when it matters most. The problem isn't just them, it's us. We're given the intellect to think, to question, yet we surrender it to the crowd. Social experiments have shown how powerful this herd mentality is. When everyone gives the wrong answer, most people will follow just to fit in, even if they know it's wrong. We see this play out in everyday life, from trends that sweep through social media to decisions made just to keep up appearances. But what does the Quran tell us? It pushes us to think for ourselves, to question, to break free from the cycle. The true believer isn't the one who follows blindly, but the one who challenges themselves to go beyond the surface, seeking what is right and just. Allah has given us the power to rise above being mere followers. It's time to use it. Think about this. Allah's message isn't just about faith. It's about being fully conscious in all we do. Islam came as a revolution, challenging people to break free from mindless traditions and become thinkers, seekers of truth. Yet today, even in our communities, there are those who discourage questioning, pushing the idea that deep understanding is only for scholars. But the Quran was revealed for all of us. It calls for reflection, for engaging our minds and hearts. If we stop thinking, we risk turning Islam into the very thing it came to change, a religion followed without thought, where people simply recite and obey without understanding. We must ask ourselves, are we nurturing a generation that memorizes without meaning, that follows without questioning? Or are we raising individuals who see the Quran as a living guide, meant to be understood and acted upon? The world around us is full of noise, consumerism, social trends, and the call to conform. But the Quran challenges that noise with one simple command: think. Don't be a mindless follower. Break free from the herd, even if it's difficult, because those who dare to reflect, question, and seek truth will find themselves closer to the path that truly matters. If this video made you think or see things differently, then don't stop here. Hit that subscribe button and join us for more content that challenges your mind and opens new perspectives. And if you found value in this, give it a thumbs up and share it with others who need to hear it. Your support helps keep these important conversations going. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.